Okay, so for the recovery system, there's a lot of steps involved. What I'm going to show you right now is the parachute system, and in the parachute system, it's going to be from our removable nose cone, and we are going to place the parachute right inside there. This is actually a little large for a parachute. I would suggest even going maybe half the size of that. Especially if you have a smaller rocket. A bigger rocket, you can put a big parachute in there, but it's just based on room and the size amount of room you have. So the first step is you get a piece of paper, and you get literally a small piece of paper just like this. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut a rubber band. I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue, just drop that in there, and I'm going to put the rubber band there and squeeze down. Okay, be careful not to glue your fingers together. That will hurt. Hot glue is hot, and don't get hurt. Next, I'm going to take and glue this piece of paper inside my rocket. And how I do this is I just put a little bit of hot glue there. Okay, I tend to just trim up the edges here to kind of take away some of the surface area that's going to make it hard for me. And I'm going to reach down as far as I can inside the rocket, and I'm just going to put that right there. And what that's going to do is that's going to hold my rubber band on the side there. Okay? The next step is kind of tricky. So what you got to do is you got to let the hot glue sit a little bit before you place it on here. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. Alright? You take your rubber band, you get it in the hot glue a little bit, and you literally just place it on there. And because it's cooled a little bit, it's not going to melt the styrofoam. If you don't wait long enough, it'll melt the styrofoam and you won't have a rocket anymore. So now for the actual parachute. So I have one made already. I'm going to kind of show you the steps to the process, but I'm going to hurry it along so you don't have to sit here and watch a 20-minute video. What you're going to do is you're going to take a bag, and I have some plastic bags or maybe some garbage bags, and we're just going to cut out a little square. Okay, probably for this size rocket, this size would suffice. Okay, but I'm going to show you in a little bigger size, just for the sake of showing it in a large scale. Now I take each corner of that, or I take my points that I want to put the string to, and I put little pieces of tape. Notice they're little pieces of tape. They're not massive pieces of tape. They're about 3 inches. Okay? It's about a 3-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch piece of tape. Okay? You just fold it over, and all that's going to do, I'll show you in a second, is it's going to give us a place to secure a hole to. Okay? We'll just do those 3. Okay. Now this one right here, the tape hung over a little bit, which is okay. I can cut that to make it look better. Again, all that matters is to have 2 pieces of tape on each side. The tape works as a reinforcer. So now I can take my hole punch, single hole punch, and just punch a hole through it. There's the tape. And now because we have the tape there, that hole won't spread under pressure. Okay? Where if I punch the hole over here, it would spread and rip the whole parachute. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my original one right now that I've been working on, and I'll punch the last hole in there, just like so, and I'll grab my last piece of string here, and I will tie it through here. Now, I do suggest tying all these together. It makes the next step easier. It is not required, but it will make your life a lot easier. So what I just suggest doing is taking all 4 of them, and really it's simple to tie them all together. So notice this one's a little long. I'm going to shorten it up. Those will give us a nice pull. Still a little long. That's a good size right there. I will and just simply tie a knot at the end of it like I would a balloon. Just cut off the longer pieces. Again, this is challenging. You can ask somebody in the room for help. Me, maybe a 7th or 8th grader helping out today, or another peer in the room. Okay, and then I'm going to trim out this slack here because, again, we don't have a lot of room. Notice I left a little bit of surface area. I'm going to take that hot glue again, and I'm just going to place a little bit of a dot right here on the end of that knot, and I'm going to let that cool for a second before I place it on my nose cone. Again, the cooling part is really important so you don't melt that styrofoam nose cone, okay? Once it cools to a tacky, and you can test it maybe on like a piece of paper. Alright, see that sounds kind of tacky. And I'll just place it on there, and it shouldn't melt too bad. Okay? And now I would then roll everything up and place it inside the tube. Again, this is a little big for this size rocket. A good reference is about half your rocket. That's the distance that your square parachute should be. Okay. Basically, now I just take and I'd roll. Once it cools down, into a ball, and then I'd lightly. And then what I would do is I would just go ahead and I'd stuff that rolled ball inside there. Once again, you see how that's huge. Doesn't fit. This little one right here would fit perfectly. Okay? Any questions? Come see me.